Alright, what's good YouTube? It's Aurzyn DF, and today I'm going to be bringing y'all a dribble tutorial for every single build rating. So I have 3 builds, one with a 70 ball control, one with an 85 ball control, and one with an 80 ball control. So 3 different ball control ratings. I'm going to bring y'all the dribble moves and badges I use for each build, and then I'm going to show you guys what moves are most effective at each rating, and kind of just going over all the dribble moves in general. So this is going to be a really in-depth dribble tutorial for every single build, so anyone can watch the dribble tutorial and learn something. So make sure you guys stay to the end to learn everything possible. And with all that being said, I don't want to waste too much time. Make sure to sub, make sure to like, and let's get straight into the video. Alright guys, so I'm on my first build right here, and just going through, I'm going to be showing you guys my badges and animations on all of my builds, so you guys know for which ball control. So starting off, this is my 6'8" facilitating finisher build, and I'm going to show you guys right here that I have a 72 ball handle. So if you have a 70 ball handle, not 75, if you have a 70 ball handle, you could do all of these moves, and really there's really not that many moves for if you're under a 70 ball control. You just basically are forced to not dribble. 70 ball control is kind of the bare minimum you need to dribble. So I'd say anywhere from 70 to 80 with these dribble moves. So if you have a 70 ball control to a 79 ball control, this is for you. These are the moves you're going to want to use. After this, we'll get into my play glass, which is an 80 ball control, and I'll show you moves for if you have an 80 to an 84. And after that, we'll get into my play shot, which is an 85 plus, which is for everyone who has an 85 plus dribbling. So getting into the badges for this build, I only have 9. If you only have a 70 ball control, you're more than likely not gonna have too many badges, but if you do, you can always look at the other badges I show for my other builds. But for this build, these are the badges I run. Main 2 ones you're gonna need are handles for days and quick first step if you are trying to dribble. And yeah, that's basically the only ones you really need. You don't really need too many badges for dribbling, especially on a build like this. I notice I don't really run out of stamina, and I get open a decent amount. So these are the badges, handles for days and quick first step, 2 most important ones you're going to need on a build like this. Alright, getting quickly into the animations for this player, I'm just going to give them to you right here quickly, get them down. So dribble style is going to be quick, signature size up, Jimmy Butler, signature combo, Luka Doncic, size up skate package, LeBron, moving crossover LeBron, normal be on the back because you can't, I don't think you can get any, you can't get any if you have a 70 ball control, so I just don't even use it. Moving spin I have on basic. Make sure you put on basic. I believe it starts off as normal, so make sure you put on basic. Moving hesitation, Larry Bird, moving step back, Jimmy Butler, and the rest don't matter. But those are definitely the animations I would suggest putting on if you only have a 70 ball control. You can unlock all of these if you have a 70 ball control, so make sure you guys put them on for this dribble tutorial. Alright guys, so I'm going to be showing you guys a few moves for each build. That way I can kind of just like get through it kind of quicker. Otherwise, we're going to be here for like an hour showing you guys dribble moves. So I'm going to show you guys the main 3 dribble moves I use on each player. And maybe for like my play shot, I'll show you a few more just because there's so many more dribble move options. But for this build right here, if you have a 70 ball control, there's 3 main moves you need to learn. The first one is going to be this step back move. This is the AI step back. It is controlled by LeBron James' size of escape package. Now to do this, it's very simple. All you do is hold RT or R2 if you are on PS4 and flick your right stick towards yourself, so backwards. Flick it backwards and you get this long step back. Now while you're doing this long step back, you're gonna either pick the left or right to run after you do the step back, and you can see I just do the step back and I run to my left and I get like the speed boost, or I can run to my right. If you run to the opposite hand, so if the ball's in my left hand and I run to the right, you can see I get this animation. And if the ball's in my left and I do this animation and I run forward, I get that animation instead. So you gotta kind of work that in. I like to alternate, which I do like in game, like I like switch it up. That way they don't know which direction I'm running. Now the second move you are gonna want to learn how to do is literally just a crossover speed boost. So with that, all you're gonna want to do is flick. If the ball is in your right hand, you want to flick up and to the left on your right stick, and you see it just does a crossover. And it's the same thing for the opposite one, just another crossover. But with this move right here, you're gonna want to do it. So you're gonna flick right stick diagonal up left. Let's just say the ball's in my right hand for this one. Diagonal up left, and then right after you flick diagonal up left on your right stick, you're gonna hold RT or R2, and you're gonna run to that same way. So you're gonna run left forward kind of ish. So diagonal up left on your left stick now. So if you see, we put that all together and just going back and forth, it does like this move, and it's really fast. Now, you're not going to get a lot of these fast moves on a build like this, just because it really just doesn't unlock that many dribble moves. But again, comboing it with the same thing as the other step back, you could do it both ways. So you can see I'm doing it this way, or I'm doing it that way. It works both ways. You just have to switch up which direction you're going to go to, and you're going to have to just randomize it so your opponent doesn't know where you're going. Now, the last and final move that I would incorporate into your game with this build is going to be the pullback, which is this move right here. Now, this move is honestly one of the most simple moves in the game, along with the AI step back. All you have to do is flick up on the right stick and down on the left stick at the same time. So up on the right stick, down on the left stick at the same time. Do not hold RT, and you see it gives me this move right here. Now, after you do this move, so right after you flick up on the right stick and flick down on the left stick, you're going to want to start holding RT and go to the ball hand the ball ends up to. So the ball's in my left hand, I do the move, it's going to end up in my right hand, and then I want to run to the right. It's the same thing for the other side and run to the left. Very, very simple. Those are definitely the 3 moves I use the most on this build. I don't really use any other moves, to be honest. Those are the only 3 moves I use, and they get me open just fine. So make sure you guys go practice these moves before you actually like try to use them in game. But with all that being said for this build, let's get on to my play glass now. Alright guys, I am now on my play glass, and you guys can see with this, I do an 80 ball control right here, and that's going to allow me to get another step up of dribble moves. So going into my dribble moves right here, you guys are going to see what dribble moves I have on. So to start off, I have quick dribble style, D-Wade signature size up, signature combo Luka Doncic, size up escape package Damian Lillard, moving crossover LeBron, moving behind the back Damian Lillard, moving spin basic, make sure you put it on basic again, it comes out as normal, make sure you put on basic is the best one, moving hesitation is Kevin Durant, moving step back is Kyrie, and that is it for my dribble moves on my play glass. But now let's get into the most effective moves for this build. Alright guys, so starting off with the first and most effective move that I use, you're going to start holding RT or R2 if you are on PlayStation. I'm just going to interchange it from now on in this video so you guys know what I'm talking about. But basically with this move, you're going to hold RT and flick your right stick up and to the left if the ball's in your right hand. So up and diagonal to the opposite ball hand. And you can see right here, I do that and it gives me this move right here. Now that is not it. That's not the move itself. There's more to it. Now, it's kind of like the other moves. You do the move and then you sprint out of it. So with this, you're going to want to do that move. So I'm going to, my ball's in my left hand now. I'm going to go diagonal up to the right. And then as soon as I do that, I'm going to start running forward and to the right. So this is the move right here. Just going back and forth. Easy right here, just great speed boost animation, and this is definitely the animation I would tell you guys to use the most with this build. It's very, very fast. It's going to be the fastest move you could probably do on this entire build, and it just helps the build out a lot. Now the next move for my play glass, if you have an 80 ball control, is going to be the AI step back again. With Damian Lillard's size up escape package, you could still do it. So it's the same control as before. If you guys didn't see it, go back and watch it before, along with the pullback. So a lot of these moves I still use on my other builds. So if you guys skipped over the first build, I would go back and watch the dribbling section for that build, just because I explained the moves and I don't want to keep explaining the same moves throughout the entire video. But I use pretty much all of these moves on all of my builds, but obviously the more dribble moves you have access to, the more moves you could do. So you got the AI step back, the pullback, and we have the crossover that I was talking about before, but now it's a little bit different of an animation because I am on my play glass. It's a little bit faster, and again, you could do it the other way, like this. Now, with this build, I cannot do it with the other build. It's going to be a moving behind the back. So you can see right here, if I just speed boost and then I do a moving behind the back, I can sometimes just come back to the 3-point line, and people will think I'm driving when I do that behind the back, and you just go back to the 3-point line. The next move is actually going to be this. It's just like a explosive behind the back, and how you do this is, if the ball is in my right hand, I'm going to hold RT, and I'm going to push my right stick diagonal to the left down. And while I'm doing that, I'm going to push my left stick to the left. So you can see right here, that's what that does. That's what that move does. And then it's just the opposite for the other direction. So just like that, and you get this, and you can just like spam it. Finally, this is a move you could do on my other build, but it's just not as good because I don't have the between the legs. But with this build, all you're going to want to do is do the spin back move right here. It's very, very good. And how you do this is you have to do between the legs, then a spin, and then you tap LT to get that hezzy at the end. So the between the legs is simple. You just run towards the basket and flick your right stick to the side of like the opposite ball end. So if the ball's in my right hand while I'm running towards the basket, I'm going to flick it to the left. And then Right after I do that, I'm going to spin my right stick from 12 to 6 o'clock counterclockwise. So if you see right here, like this, and counterclockwise, and then at the very end, you just tap LT and it gives you that little hezzy. And if you always want me to do it again, I can see right here, just do it over and over again. And once you guys practice it and get it down, it's going to be no sweat. It may be a little hard in the beginning. I see a lot of people asking about that move, so that is how you do that move. And again, that's about it for the play glass moves. Play glass and my facilitating finisher, very, very similar, except the play glass just has a few more moves that you could do. So if you guys are a play glass or do you have my facilitating finisher, I'd recommend watching both parts of this video. Obviously, if you're here and you watched the video already, you already watched my facilitating finisher, but definitely recommend learning the moves of both of those players if you are on my play glass. But now let's move on to the last and final build, which is going to be my play shot, or for that matter, any build that has a 85 or over ball handle rating. Alright, so I am on my last and final build right now for 85 plus ball control. You guys can see right here, I have a 93, so that's plenty for 85 plus, but I know a lot of builds do just barely hit that 85 cap. So my animations are right here. They're going to be pretty similar to my play glass animations because you really don't unlock too much. I'd say the main differences are going to be like signature size ups. But overall, I kind of just have different animations on this player because I use it in a different way. So with this player, if you are ISOing, I probably recommend putting on some of my play glass animations, but if you're taking screens, these are definitely the animations to go. D-Rose, I would say actually the only thing that changed if you are ISOing is going to be size up escape, and if you're ISOing, put on Damian Lillard. Otherwise, it doesn't matter. If you're taking screens, put on Trae Young. But anyways, D-Rose, J. Will, LeBron James. LeBron James moving crossover is the best one in the game, so that's why I have it on all my builds. And then animations are pretty similar between builds, but the main one is going to be signature size up D-Rose and size up escape package Trae Young. Those are really the only two that change. And I believe I actually missed my badges on my play glass, so I'll show you guys my badges right here. These are the badges I run for my play shot. They'd be pretty similar for my play glass. Handles for days, quick first step, quick chain, and hyper drive. The main four dribbling ones. You don't really need too much else, maybe a little unpluckable, but yeah, these are the main four to like help you dribble fast, and the ones that are absolutely like needed. I would say even hyperdrive isn't really that needed. I just have it on because, you know, why not? I have the badges for it. But yeah, if you are a play shot or a play glass, put on these badges. They'll work just fine for you. And now let's get into a few moves that I do use on my play shot. Alright, the first one is obviously just going to be the moving crossover, which I talked about in both of my previous two builds. But this one is going to be a little bit different because it's Derrick Rose on the thing. So you can see it's very, very glitchy on this build. And I would highly recommend if you have 85 ball control to put on it. Like, look how glitchy it is. Like, it's just so glitchy. It literally is one of the best moves in the game. And it's obviously with the left-right being patched, like, you know, this move, it's really slow now. This is definitely one of the best moves in the game. Now, obviously, we don't have the AI step back. You can see it's that animation instead. So, with this build, the main things you're going to be doing is the Trae Young size up escape package right here, and the D-Rose like this. Now, the main two things with the Trae Young right here is make sure you're going to the same ball hand. So, all you have to do is hold RT and then flick your right stick diagonal up to the left. It's pretty similar. That's how all crossovers are. They're all diagonal up. And with this move, you get this move right here. Just really, really fast. Crossover, spam, really, really fast. And it's really, really good if you do this and then just combo it with the D-Rose really quickly. Combo with the D-Rose and it will do wonders for you. But yeah, the next move is obviously going to be the pullback. The pullback, you can combo it really, really well. And you could just see how well and how quickly I'm dribbling with this build. And it's just really, really fast. So I would say those are the main three moves with this build. You just combo really, really fast with those moves. And one thing I do want to say is I see a lot of guards doing this is if you do the Trae Young size up escape, right? And then you let go of RT. So do the Trae Young, let go of RT, and then do the D-Rose, and then do it to the opposite ball hand. So you guys saw earlier when I was doing my AI step back to the opposite ball hand, and you get like this move right here. This move right here, it's very, very like overpowered, and like it makes the defender think you're going one way, and then you just go the other way. So do the Trae Young, and then that move, and then combo into it. And if you do that, it's gonna really like trick your defender. Like, I'm not gonna lie, like it's one of the best moves in the game. Literally every single comp guard uses it and you can kind of just combo these literally these 3 moves, just combo them together and they will work just fine for you. As well as obviously if you want to use my animations from another build on your like play shot or whatever build with the 85 plus, you can always do that. So make sure you guys go check those out if you did skip over them. But yeah, that's gonna be about it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. I covered every single build there is for dribbling wise. If you have a below a 70, there's not really much you can do besides kind of just run around. I'm not gonna lie, there's really not much you can do. But yeah, that's gonna be about it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed this one, and I'm out, man. Peace.